Well, hey there, welcome to Whitetail Weekly. This week's episode, we're going to do a little 2023 season preview slash, update slash forecast, whatever you want to call it. We're going to take a few minutes, we're going to talk about kind of what happened already so far this season and the good start we've gotten off to. We're going to take a look at some of the deer we're going to chase the rest of the season, and we're going to talk about some of the hunts and some of the exciting things that are coming up this 2023 season. So, should be interesting, should be fun. Come along with us, we'll get started right now. So, as I said, the first part of this video is kind of going to be a where are we at in the 2023 season. So, it's October 3rd today. For Michigan, just like most of the Midwest, bow season is officially open. So, hopefully you guys have been able to get out. Maybe some of you have been able to knock down good bucks already. So, congrats if you have. That's awesome. We got started September 9th and 10th. My kids were able to go out and partake in Michigan's annual youth hunt. Hopefully you saw that video. Thank you for watching if you did, but they were both able to knock down pretty nice 2.5-year-old bucks, just nice racks. My daughter's first real rack buck and my son's second nice buck of his career, so they were both super excited. The hunts went great. Couldn't have really drawn them up any better from the perspective of those actual hunts. We put a plan together and they both plans worked. The kids made great shots. The deer didn't go far. They were down quick. And you just really can't ask for much more. The other nice thing of those hunts was based on the winds and kind of where we knew the deer were at, we were able to have two really successful hunts and take two nice bucks without pushing into the grounds at all, without pushing into the property. So that's awesome. Makes you feel good heading into the year that you already kind of got that head start and haven't really spoiled anything, haven't really busted any deer. I think we had three sits that weekend, and my son and I, we did bump a couple deer on the morning sit, but 3 hunts, 2 successful hunts, 2 nice bucks taken, and only a couple deer ever knew the difference. So that's a pretty good setup, and it worked out really well. So our season's off to a great start. I haven't even hit the woods yet as a hunter. I've only been out as a cameraman for my kids. So like I said, it's 80-something degrees today. Those beans behind me are the only indication that it's anywhere near October. If it wasn't for those yellowed out beans, you would think weather-wise it was July or August right now. So hasn't been real great weather. I haven't exactly been dying to get in the woods with this weather, but I'm gonna head up this weekend. If you saw, I posted the other day, there's a beautiful cold front coming through today. I'm filming this on Tuesday. I think the cold front officially hits on either Wednesday or Thursday, depending where you're at. So in the next few days, this weather's really gonna turn and it's gonna start feeling like fall. So that's kind of where we're at in the season. I'm gearing up to head up this weekend and see what I can do and try to get some sits under my belt for this year and try to catch up to the kids. The kids got off to a good start. I got to do my part now. So that's where we're at. The next thing we're going to talk about on this video is kind of what I'm looking for going into this 2023 season and a couple of the deer that I'm going to be chasing. So we might move into the barn. I don't know. It's pretty hot out here. Maybe we'll move inside and go through these deer we're going to run. Well, as you can see, we moved inside now. We're down here in the barn at the end of my little archery range. And I figured this would be a fitting spot to talk about the 3 main deer that I'm going to be chasing this year because, well, they're the deer that I think about while I'm practicing on this range. So, we've got quite a few bucks on camera so far this year, but there's been 3 or 4 that really stand out. And of those 3 or 4, there's 3 that I think I'm really going to kind of focus and dedicate as my, quote-unquote targets for the year. Unless, some other buck happens to show up, which is certainly not out of the question. So the first buck on that list is a buck we call Halo. This is a buck that I think we now have 3 years worth of pictures of this buck. I would assume this year he's at least 3 and most likely 4, judging by the previous year's pictures. And you can see in some of these pictures that I'm putting up on the screen now, he's pretty good body size this year. He's pretty healthy. And when you see him compared to some other bucks in the plots and stuff, he definitely has a much thicker, much larger body. But he was 8-point. The last 2 years, he was an 8-point. We call him Halo. His rack comes around and kind of almost makes a halo. His beams come around and almost come pretty close in the front. He's had that same characteristic for the last 2 years. The last 2 years, he was a mainframe 8. He actually had a busted G3 both years, so he technically would have been a 7-point last year and the year before. This year he's grown into a nice 10-point, pretty good mass. That same characteristic long wraparound beams made him pretty easy to pick out. And he was pretty visible back in the summer. We were seeing him in one of our food plot staging areas quite a bit. We see him there and we see him at another camera down by the river at the other end of the farm. putting those two sets of pictures together from the last 2 years and this year, I think I have a decent idea of when he's bedding on our property, where that is, or in or around our property within our little neighborhood right there, where he's bedding and how he's using our property. So that makes me pretty confident that, you know, I may or may not see him, but I feel like I know where to put myself to increase the odds in my favor as much as possible. So that's kind of the rundown on Halo. He'd be an awesome buck. You know, great buck. Gotta love those bucks you have history with. And in our area, 3 and 4 year olds are definitely, you know, that top 10% of the bucks available. So that's kind of what I set my goal as. So he would be a great buck for me. I'd be super excited, super happy to get a chance at him. And, you know, looking forward to matching wits with them. And like I said, I feel pretty confident that, you know, I may or may not see him, but I feel pretty confident I'm going to put myself, you know, in the right spots and give myself the best opportunities when it comes to him based on some of that prior intelligence and things that we know about him. So that's Halo. The second buck, this buck we call Towers. He's actually probably bigger than Halo overall score and size-wise, antler-wise. Don't really know if we have history with him. You know, he didn't jump out. I'd have to really kind of dig through last year and see if we had any pictures of bucks that would fit his mold. Based on his rack and body, he's in that same 3 or 4 year old category, probably a 4-year-old. Again, top edge of what we have available in our area, so definitely a good target. Problem, we didn't have a ton of pictures. You know, we had just a few in August and a few in September. We might have had a few in July when I was looking back through them. So, you know, that's kind of all we really know about Towers. Where he was in the summer, I have a feeling will not be where we see him if we come across him in the fall. But you never know. You know, it could be the same. There's a lot of travel corridors within our property the way it's set up. So there's a good chance that we'll come across him at some point, or he'll pop back in on our cameras again. But he's definitely a target and would definitely be an awesome buck to get some swings at or get a sight of, that type of thing for our area. And he's been on our neighbors' cameras as well. So he's definitely in the area. He might not be as much of a, you know, quote-unquote homebody as Halo, but he's still in the area. And, you know, it's very reasonable to think we'd run into him as well. The third buck is a buck I've been calling Double Brow. This was a real nice racked buck that was running with Halo quite a bit in the summer. Looked real good in velvet, good body size, probably a 3-year-old. But I will say when he shed his velvet, he lost, you know, quite a bit of that mass that he was kind of showing when he was in velvet. You know, he seemed to lose more than I expected when he went hard horn. So not saying he's small by any means, and he's definitely going to be a hard buck for me to pass. He's a really nice buck. He's a mainframe 8 with a double brow and just a baby little G4 on one side to technically probably be either a 9 or maybe a 10 point, but just a real nice buck. And again, you know, a good buck for our area. And you know, I'd like to say I'm going to pass him, and I very well may, but it'll probably be a game time decision if he gives me that decision to make. So, you know, he's number 3 on the list, and maybe with an asterisk, maybe not, we'll see. And then there was at least one other buck, I think that another 10, and it's hard to say from looking at pictures, but I think there might be one other mainframe 10 out there running around as well. But those are the 3 there. Halo, Towers, and Double Brow are the 3 bucks that are really kind of got my attention this summer. Well, we've talked now about kind of where we are so far in the season. We've talked about what bucks I'm looking to chase. Last thing we're going to talk about real quick is kind of what lies ahead for this 2023 season. So, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm going to hit the woods for the first time this weekend. After that, I leave for a week-long trip we do every year. We go out to the western end of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and we do a tent camp, a bow camp out there on a bunch of public ground. So that's going to be awesome. I look forward to that every year. Just have a great time. We hang out, we have fun, we hunt, wander around, just check everything out, just truly enjoy ourselves. It's a great mix of vacation and hunting trip, and I'm going to take you guys along. It's kind of tough. We're in a tent, you know, no power or anything like that. I'm going to do my best to keep the batteries charged and film it and bring you guys some video of that and help kind of share that with you. It's an awesome old school tent camp. We've been doing it for got to be close to 40 years now. My dad and his brother started it years ago, so we'll take you on that with us here in a couple weeks. We'll come back. That'll lead us right into late October, the end of the pre-rut into the rut. What do I got to say about that? You'll be there. Hopefully we'll have some great action. That leads into Michigan's opening day of firearms. I am 100% a bow hunter at heart. I would bow hunt over gun hunt, 99 times out of 100. But the one day that I won't is opening day of gun here in Michigan. That's just a super exciting day. The camaraderie of it, the tradition of it all. It's a great day. So we'll take you along on that. That's one of my favorite days of the whole season. So look forward to that. Then we can work through there, Thanksgiving into late season. I love late season bow hunting. I've really come to enjoy it over the years. Just the challenge of fighting the elements and the weather and trying to repattern these deer that have been pressured the whole season and try to get them back within bow range. It's an awesome challenge. I love it. You'll be along for that as well. So just looking forward to the rest of the year. It's going to be an awesome year. I said earlier, we got a bunch of bucks on camera. I have high expectations and high hopes for this year. I've been very fortunate over the last few years. I've been able to take bucks consistently. So you kind of got to wonder, is that bubble going to burst? Am I going to have a down year? And that is absolutely 100% possible. And it's always in the back of your mind. But as of right now, it's all excitement. So come along with us, Whitetail Weekly. It's going to be a great season. Like I said, the kids already got us off to a good start. I got to try to keep it up. They'll be back in the mix here, I'm sure, soon. So stay with us. It should be a great year. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's got you looking forward to what you'll be able to find here in the next few weeks or few months. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Hopefully we'll give you some more to watch here coming soon.